nonverbal cues that are communicating to each other where our intent is. All right.
Other than me screwing up the whole telly first.
But that's cool too, right? Because another part of speech is miscommunication. Whole sitcoms, you probably don't watch those anymore, like How I Met Your Mother or Friends. They're based on what? Miscommunications. That's what makes them funny. That's what also makes them relevant, because we all experience that. So if we have a moment, right, if we are in fact reaching out through this nonverbal cue to try to communicate, even though we may have the wrong words, it doesn't have to be offensive. We can find each other in this. And that was actually perfect, Patrick, because we all made an adaptation, right? We're all like, wait a minute, I'm trying to understand, and you're like, I'm trying to understand, I'm trying to communicate. And we had a moment, we had a very human moment, a very living moment. Can we do that again? Yeah. And everybody screw up as much as possible. Let's have this communication.
Wait, are you joking or actually?
I'm kind of joking, kind of not. If we have a moment, I think it's okay. We'll just reach out through the nonverbals and hopefully communicate that meaning with one another. And now let's see. And now let's see what that'll do when we put it back in context.
So real quick, to go off that point just a little bit more, what's really cool about this is that one of the things that we were doing before is like within the sustain, sometimes it's hard to hear when other people move. And what's really cool that we achieve by doing something like this is knowing that, oh, there's an eighth note over here, right? And so what we did differently, if you caught it, like, so what was, can anybody tell me, just a general idea, what was the difference between the first bop and the second bop? What did we do differently, especially at the end? Could you tell? We really slowed it down on that second time. And that was on purpose. And notice nobody chose to do it. Actually, you did. Yeah.
I very blatantly chose.
But that was cool is because in the heat of it is knowing that is knowing that if we all have the same kind of idea of pulse, that if one person decides to change it and change the whole thing, the other person goes with them. And you notice that we're trying to align a lot of these vertical placements together, right? And so that affords us that opportunity to do some of that. So then when we do go back to the sustain, that conversation that Dr. Nuerohr was talking about is still present, but now we get to go ahead and fill it out just a little bit more. Yeah, I think that's great. Placement on all of these things was even tighter that time, right? And then one last thing that I think ties a lot of this stuff together is that we are obsessed with listening out, right? So this, I love this chair because I get to sit right here and I get to double check what these guys are doing and what this guy's doing and he's following and then get to make sure that we're like all moving together. But like if we're distracted by learning our own notes and our own rhythms, it's very difficult to listen outside of yourself. But that last time, and especially after we boxed it a couple times, it was so much closer and so much better because we all had a much better expectation of what the other one was doing. And hopefully that was clear. Hopefully it was clear.
It also helps to have your face feel.
Yeah, that's right.
And it's kind of interesting by doing the bob thing. So you mostly what I'm doing is just putting pads out for these guys to
Football
to be on. There's just a bunch of footballs. Balloons and footballs. And so the bob exercise is focused on note beginnings, isn't it? It's only when notes change. But then we get to the ends of these phrases because we were so focused on that pulse and on the changes. The ends of the notes were even better. They all just exactly the same. As worried as we often are about that, playing the right notes and the right rhythms, when we end our notes together,